Hi everyone, my dear learners. I am Manoj Kumar, Faculty of Economics and Polity for UPSC and State PCS exam. Guys, today we will discuss important topic of Indian economy, interim budget 2024 and 25. Why it is interim? What is the meaning of interim? What is the meaning of normal budget? What is the meaning of vote on account? We will discuss all point in this class. So guys, as we know that normally a budget is introduced by a finance minister under article 112 of Indian constitution, but after the presentation of the budget by finance minister, our honorable prime minister also said gave a concluded speech on the budget, and in his important speech the prime minister raised some important point, like you are looking on the screen that four pillars described by our prime minister. The four pillars are youth, poor, women and farmers. Because this budget is included all these four pillars, it means this budget is inclusive budget. Inclusive budget means a budget which is related to all sector of economy, like primary, like tertiary, like secondary. It means agriculture, industry and services. And the budget which is related to remote area, which is related to rural area, which is related to urban area. It means all sector are included in the budget is called inclusive budget. And what do you mean by innovative budget? Because our prime minister said that budget nature is inclusive and innovative. Innovative means a budget which is related to a new terminology, new technology and the creation of new era and age of a development, and possibility, a lots of possibility for development is called innovative budget. Now prime minister said that the budget is focused on developed 2047. What do you mean? It means our target is set by our government that we have to turn our country from developing status to developed status up to 2047. Logistic innovation, as we said that innovative budget. Infrastructure, we know the infrastructure is the raw material of economy. Without infrastructure the economy cannot boost the development and growth. And the tourism. Now this is the important and crucial point regarding upcoming UPSC prelims and main exam. The new concept of GDP given by our prime minister. This is not the goods and gross domestic production. This is related to governance. This is related to development. This is related to performance. Governance means how we execute our budget, our target. And development, as we know, the status and symbol of all development scenario. And performance, it means how we will be able to achieve our targets, what is the execution form performance of our budget and development task. This is called GDP, introduced by our prime minister. Now interim budget we can describe in a short way that interim budget related to short run, because we know that in June 2024 the general election will be held for next Lok Sabha. So interim budget, a budget which is related to short run of a annual year. This is not for fully financial year. This is called interim budget. The who introduced first interim budget in our country? The first introduction of interim budget was by our first interim government finance minister Shanmugam Shetty in 26 November 1947. The first interim budget was introduced by Shanmugam Shetty on 26 November 1947. Now we are not sit here for a fast and historical fact of budget. So come on next page. Income tax slab. Interim budget 2024-25, there is no change in income tax regime, because but we can see that the classification of individual above 60 years, below 60 years and above 80 years is now changed into new regime. There is no classification. Up to 3 lakh nil income tax, 3 to 6 lakh 5%, 6 to 9 lakh 10%, 9 to 12 lakh 15, and so on. After 15 lakh is 30% income tax rate. Now this is the same tax regime because this budget is interim budget, and if a budget is for short run, then there will be or there is no change for income tax structure in a country. So come on next page. Now this is related to the source of money from a government receive. You are looking here first 17% of GST, but I am not saying that this is the first. Normally we know that guys in UPSC exam that normal UPSC and state PCS exam, this point is not included mostly in option. Mostly include are taxes. So but as a competitor you have to careful about that this point is included or not. Normally ascending and descending order can be asked in the examination, that where does money come, where the money comes from and where the money goes. So first is GST and second is income tax and corporation tax is called also profit tax. These both these are equal. And next is non-tax revenue, union excise duty, and six is non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue means income from estate, income from government production system, income from railway, income from traveling. So called the government can take imposition, license, charge, fees, etc. This is called non-tax revenue, and the custom duty is 4 paisa. So you have to careful about the ascending and descending order of the money, where the money comes from. Next point, this is the estimation of a government expenditure in percentage way. The first is interest payment. Normally the defense mostly the student choose in option, but is wrong answer. And second is state share of tax and duties, and next is 17% central government scheme. After that finance commission and central sponsored schemes are equal. So come on, and regularly 8%, 8%, 7% and 4%. So you have to choose the ascending and descending order in the question of UPSC and state PCS. The rupees goes to the chronological order you have to choose in answer. Next point guys, this is the very important point. Interim budget, fiscal deficit. As we know that fiscal deficit, first of all we should know that one side is total revenue and other side is total expenditure. And normally we hear that the surplus budget, the neutral budget and the deficit budget. The surplus budget means total revenue is exceed than total expenditure, and neutral budget means total revenue is equal to total expenditure, and deficit budget means total revenue is less than total expenditure. This is the normal concept. Or fiscal deficit means we can describe the fiscal deficit as a definition that fiscal deficit include total expenditure minus total revenue. Now what do you mean by total expenditure minus total revenue? Total expenditure, capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. These are the two terms. Capital expenditure plus revenue expenditure, these are the expenditure. And other side minus total revenue means revenue receipt plus capital receipt other than borrowing, means borrowings are not part as a capital receipt. So this is the difference is called fiscal deficit. And you know, here is the target of fiscal deficit for 2024 guys. This is 5.8% of GDP. For 25 this is 5.1% of GDP, and this is 5.5% of GDP in 2026. So this is very important point for UPSC pre question, that the target of fiscal deficit of Indian government in concerned year, then you have to careful about 2024, 25, 26. On next page, guys, gross tax component. The gross tax component reflect the share of direct and indirect tax. As you are watching that the direct tax are exceed than indirect tax, it means still now our union government or our country receive more part from direct tax than indirect tax. It's 27% corporation tax, 27% income tax, and the GST is 29%. And other than GST, other excise, central excise duty, and special additional duty, like so many other GST, other than GST indirect tax, are 17%. Next point is government fiscal balance. Fiscal balance means where is the spending level and where is the revenue level. It means you are looking here the graph of spending up and down and graph of revenue up and down. The revenue 30-year average and spending 30-year average. The question can be asked in UPSC or state PCS exam as a statement and trends. As we know that trend are mostly asked in UPSC questions and prelims and mains. What is the trend of spending and revenue in since after 2010? Then you have to careful about this is a fall down, not fluctuation. Here is no up and down, only fall down from 2010 to 2020. After 2020 it increased. Okay, then you have to careful about the trend of the revenue and spending as a percentage of GDP. You are looking here 16%, 18% up to 17%, then fall down 15.2%. Why it was for corona time? It was the time of corona, and all expenditure and production function are not in functioning mode. So that was the time of zero. So the production and revenue system was on hold. That's why the spending and the revenue both are fall down in 2020-21. After 21-22 it increased again. Now next page on, guys, interim budget 2024-25, total expenditure and total revenue. As we earlier said in the last page that revenue and expenditure concept we will also discuss in further page. The total expenditure is 47.66 lakh crore rupees. It's in lakh crore rupees, and 30.80 lakh crore rupees is total revenue. As you are looking here, 2.76 lakh crore increased from 2023, and it's 5.8% in GDP. And as a capital expenditure learners, this is 3.4% of GDP, but it's too short than compare of any developed country. They focused more capital expenditure rather in compare of our country, but in the compare of previous year, this is increased up to 11.1% of a capital expenditure. And in total revenue, the tax revenue part is 26.02 lakh crore, and gross market borrowing 14.13, and net market borrowing 11.75 lakh crore rupees. These are the factuals, but you have to remember in the point of view previous question and mains question, what is the status of a total expenditure and total revenue, especially capital expenditure. Capital expenditure, we know that the expenditure on technology, expenditure on infrastructure and machinery, equipment, tools, research and development, the which is related to long run result, guys. The capital expenditure is focused on the result for long run time period. This is called capital expenditure because it's not related to a short run result system. So we know we can better understand that the capital expenditure like metro, investment in metro. Do you know first time metro was introduced started in 1998, but running time was 25 December 2002. That was the time of first time metro started in 2002, and the making time was 3 years. It means when we invest in today, that will be result after 3 or 4 years. It may long time of performance. So this is called capital expenditure. Next page, this is the graph of capital expenditure 2023-24, 10 lakh crore rupees. 24-25, this is the 11.11 lakh crore rupees. It means growth is 11.1% from previous year. That can be asked in statement or trending question. Next page, guys. Infrastructure linked program 75,000 crore rupees. This will be described or explained after including these points. The railway, 3 major corridor. First, the port connectivity. Second, the energy, minerals and cement corridor, guys. And third is high traffic density corridor. It means these 3 points will insist in 3 major corridor of railway and will reduce logistic cost of 12% of GDP. This is an important point, guys, because the logistic cost is the traveling cost of a traffic system. So the logistic cost, if in decrease up to 12% of GDP, and other point are Vande Bharat, 40,000 normal bogies will be converted into Vande Bharat. Metro Rail and Namo Bharat will be expanded to more cities, and development of community specific economic rail corridor. It will effective in which way we can say that these point now. Reduce traveling time. It means there is a commodity specific economic corridor, and these 3 railway corridor which will reduce the traveling time, and job opportunity will be created, and tourism will enhance the economy. So these are the result of a linked reforms 75,000 crore rupees. Now in mains question and in pre-question you can use these data, guys, very well. Next point, this is electricity. Sorry, this is a writing mistake. In electricity, the rooftop solarization on the occasion of 22 January 2024 on the inauguration of our Ram Mandir. Prime Minister also described that point. Rooftop solarization, 10 million household enabled to obtain up to 30 unit free electricity every month, not for a month, every month. And promoting offshore wind energy, which will create the 1 gigawatt connecting production of electricity. Coal gasification and liquefaction, 100 metric ton by 2030. For fuel gas, 85,000 crore rupees are settled in this budget. And mandatory blending of compressed biogas in compressed natural gas and pipe natural gas for domestic purpose. And electronic vehicles charging station are now 6586. What is the effect of these steps? These net zero emission, we know that we have to set a net zero emission target by 2017. That these point will be helpful for this target. And another point, that reduce natural gas, methanol and ammonia. All these import will be reduced when we emphasis on this point, guys. Next point, the interim budget electronic vehicle promotion is 2671 crore rupees. The charging station by 2023 are 6586 in country. But there is some basic point for electric vehicle. You are looking here, December 2024, railway station in mega city with more than 40 lakh population. December 25, station in big cities with more than 10 lakh population. And December 26, all remaining station based on feasibility. So all these will be helpful for zero emission up to 2070. So guys, this is an important point regarding our budget 2024-25. Next point, interim budget sunrise sector related to green hydrogen, automobiles, automotive, chemical, capital goods and infrastructure project and PLI sector. So Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that the government of India will establish 1 million corps to incentivize innovation and research on sunrise domain. The fund will have a provision of 50 years interest-free loans, will provide long-term finance and refinancing for long tenures with zero and low interest rate, but it will enhance the youth interest in the ownership and enterprises. Guys, the sunrise sector has provided 50 years interest free rate facility on low and zero interest rate, as our honorable finance minister declared in the budget presentation. Next point, PM Awas Yojana, it's a very important point. It was introduced in 2015, but as a budget, we can conclude the three more 3 crore house being constructed at a cost of 6 lakh crore. Then the budget is related to 2 crore more to be built in next 5 years. It means 3 crore house target up to 2020, no, but further it was taken to 2024, and now it has been increased from 3 crore to extra 2 crore house next 5 years. So here is the budget, 80.7. Here is, you are looking that expenditure in 1000 crores, in it means 80,000 crores normally related to PM Awas Yojana, a house for everyone. That's why this is called inclusive budget, sabka saath sabka vikas. Next point, guys, the Lakhpati Didi 83 lakh self-help group, which create related to 9 crore women targeted and 2 crore to 3 crore. It means 1 crore extra, and financial injection of 1 lakh per household, and 1 crore beneficiaries could be take the benefit of these schemes, and which will empower the women self-reliance and socio-economic scenario. That's why we can say that this is called a inclusive budget. So the Prime Minister also emphasized in his speech the budget is innovative and inclusive. On this basis, we can explain in our mains question and prelims question how can we say that the budget is inclusive budget. So these type of facts and points we should include in our mains answer writing. This is helpful for every exam of UPSC and state PCs. Next point, guys, here is some basic concept of budget. The government budget, as we know that the revenue budget, capital budget. Revenue budget has two parts: revenue receipt and revenue expenditure. And revenue receipt further can be divided in two parts: tax revenue and non-tax revenue. And revenue expenditure also plan expenditure and non-plan expenditure. You know, when we decided the expenditure will be decided only on the base of revenue and capital since 2017. Okay, and 2017 it was recommended by Rangarajan committee in 2011. So since 2017, the Arun Jaitley finance minister described the budget expenditure only in a capital and revenue expenditure. The capital budget, capital receipt and capital expenditure, it's also divided in plan and non-plan. We will discuss in further or next class what is the meaning of plan and non-plan. Normally in short way is that if a budget related to development, this is called plan expenditure, is related to non-development, this is called non-plan expenditure. But this is a huge topic, so we have to maintain our focus on the budget on only 2024-25. But further next page we can describe revenue budget, revenue receipt, tax revenue, non-tax revenue, as we earlier said in the in previous pages with factual points. So personal income tax, corporation tax, wealth tax, these are the tax. These are the non-tax. Non-tax mean the dividends and interest rate on loans government given by central government, other charges, license fees, external grants and disinvestment. Sorry, disinvestment is the part of capital revenue. This is the revenue expenditure, plan, revenue expenditure and non-plan. Plan expenditure, it means expended by central government ministries and central assistance for state and union territory. Here is non-plan expenditure, the interest payment, revenue expenditure on defense, subsidies, public administration, law, rule and regulation, and pension scheme, etc. This is called non-plan expenditure on revenue point of view. Next point, guys, this is interim budget, capital receipt, and capital expenditure. So the capital receipt include borrowing from RBI, borrowing from market, loan from MSME, NSSF, and loan from public sector unit, and other is external debt. External means out of a country, and disinvestment process, recovery of loan. These are the capital receipt. Other is capital expenditure, the plan capital expenditure, non-plan capital expenditure. These are also can be divided in further point. So this is the normal budget, guys, and we can say that the budget is related to interim budget. And first point of view, some important fact can also described in our class. So guys, this is the class of interim budget 2024-25. I hope you enjoy the class and will be able to give some important answer in prelims and mains on the basis of this fact and some conceptual formation you would have been able to make. थैंक्स, धन्यवाद, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में.